Welcome to KBS World Radio. You're now tuned in to Korea24's Korea Book Club, where we explore the world of Korean literature. This is our weekend replay edition, playing back our book segment from Wednesday's show. We hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Kwon Jang-woo. Joining me in the studio now, we have with us our literary critic, Barry Welsh. Barry, hello. It's great to see you again.
Yes, hello.
Okay, so what are you introducing to our listeners today?
So this week we're reviewing a classic novel called A Toy City. The Korean title is Changnam-gam Doshi, and the writer is Lee Dong-ha. And it was originally published in 1979. It was subsequently translated into English by Chun Kyung-ja in 2013. And he was born on December 1st, 1942. He was originally from Osaka in Japan, but his family relocated to Gyeongsang-bokdo in Korea after the end of Japanese rule. He pursued education in the creative writing department at the Sorebol College of Arts, and then he did a master's degree in Korean literature at Konkuk University.
Right, so he's someone who saw firsthand the painful aftermath of the Korean War and how the country had to build back up from the ashes, essentially. And his works perhaps are a reflection of that, reflections on that as well. So A Toy City, today's book, was originally published in 1979, as you said. So what is A Toy City about? How does it reflect post-war Korean society?
Right, yeah. So A Toy City, it's a very moving coming-of-age story set in post-war Korea, and it centres on an unnamed fourth-grade boy who is essentially a stand-in for writer E. This isn't a strictly, completely autobiographical novel, but it is obviously drawing on his own experiences. But this autobiographical-like narrative offers readers a window into the struggles of a very poor family in a recovering nation, in a city recovering from the ravages of war. But the story avoids focusing on the political aspects, and it instead highlights the personal, the emotional challenges faced by individuals like E and his family and their neighbours. And his journey is marked by hardship and early responsibility. He sort of forced, or he realises the need for self-reliance because his family is grappling with poverty. His father and his mother as well don't make perhaps the best or most responsible decisions, and so he has to sort of become quite self-reliant at a young age. And so he experiences very stark and challenging realities of loss and instability. And even though he goes through these difficult experiences, the novel also captures moments of joy and innocence. And so we have the sort of contrast of the harshness of post-war life with the resilience of this young boy's human spirit. And I think E's writing throughout the novel is very lyrical and poignant. He presents a vivid depiction of the struggles of Korea's lower class at this time in the 1950s, and we get a unique perspective on the impact of war on everyday life, especially for underprivileged people. And so through this young boy's eyes, we experience a blend of hope, frustration, and just the resilience required for survival. It's a very compelling book, very insightful, and I think it does an excellent job of shedding light on the complexities of life in a war-torn society, as well as the enduring strength of youth in the face of adversity.
Right. Can you tell us a bit more about some of those themes you mentioned there as well? Can you unpeel the proverbial onion a bit more for us? While the story might centre around the boy's survival story against poverty, what more is at play here? Why is the novel also regarded as a classic?
Right, yeah. So it's also about the sort of feeling of urban alienation. At the very beginning of the novel, they move from the countryside. They're sort of forced out of their country, the village they live in, because of the poverty. They move to the big city to try and earn some more money, but it doesn't go very well. And so one of the main themes of the book is just this sense of urban alienation, what it's like living in the big city in the post-war period, trying to survive and make money and feed your family. But also what he's writing about is the sort of accelerated loss of traditional values. You sort of the beginning of modernity, or the looming face of modernity puberty approaching. And then inside that, you've got this young boy's search for identity in what is a rapidly changing society. And so these themes, we've encountered these themes in many of the novels and stories we've reviewed, especially books about this period and about these sort of post-war decades in Korea. And it seems like these themes have resonated deeply with Korean readers, and certainly since this novel was published over 4 decades ago. South Korea has obviously undergone this rapid urbanization and technological advancement, significantly altering the social and cultural landscape. And I think this book speaks to that Korean experience of navigating these huge changes and their impact on individual lives.
Right, so it's a very insightful work, especially for its time, reflecting on what Korean society had to bear through at that time and the questions that led from that. How does Lee Dong-ha's writing style contribute to the themes of the story as well?
Right, so I think perhaps in this story is, and the work of the translator as well, this is where you can really see the sort of style that he's famous for. So A Choi City is defined by very poetic, vivid storytelling. It's mainly sort of built up from these little snapshots of experiences and events that happen. And this sort of poetic style of writing really enriches the novel's themes. So we have this lyrical prose that deeply immerses readers, I think, in this young boy's emotional world. It conveys the complexities of his experiences and Seoul after the war. He's very good at using imagery and metaphor to transform the city into a living backdrop. The city is really like another character in the story. We see the sort of chaotic and overwhelming nature of urban life. And again, we have the sort of stark contrasts of the post-war reality that people were living in. And the narrative sort of blurs the lines between reality and memory. So I think mirroring perhaps E's confusion and disorientation as he confronts these very difficult and frequently changing circumstances. And I think that approach underscores the themes of lost innocence, the abrupt shift from childhood to adulthood. And in that introspective style, we see a very detailed exploration of these themes, like alienation, the erosion of these traditional values, and just the general search for identity amid a changing society. So his writing style, I think we'd say it's characterized by poetic language, rich imagery, and a focus on personal experience. And it deepens the reader's engagement with the emotional and psychological impact of the story as seen through a young boy's eyes.
So clearly a seminal and important work indeed. Once again, it's called A Toy City by Lee Dong-ha, and that was our pick for this week's Korea Book Club. Barry, thank you for that review as always, and we'll catch up with you again next time. Take care.
Okay, take care.
And that's all for this week's Korea Book Club. You can check out more of the works we discussed on our website at world.kbs.co.kr. Join us again next week.
KBS World Radio. Let's go. 함께 즐겨요. Oh yeah. 우리 모두 다 함께. Let's have a good time together. La 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 la. KBS World Radio. 우리가 기다리던 시간. Hello, hello.
KBS World Radio.